Hello and welcome back to the Trojans. That's right, Dresden Fane has been on a long, arduous journey through the mountain pass. It is now starting to get into the cold months. Erhard is here, and temperatures are dropping, and the weather's getting worse. This is Dresden's Tale, Chapter 23. More importantly, Episode 24. And this is the show where we don't always know what chapter we're in the middle of or what episode we're doing. Those overlays and initial statements, they could say anything. I went back and looked at a few episodes that are beyond my ability to change now, and they're not always 100% accurate, but I don't think it'll cause too much of a continuity problem with your viewing. I'm just reinforcing the fact that this is the beginnings of a learning experience for me, as well as an entertainment experience for you. Gone are the days that writers and creators had to go through the big powerhouse publishing companies of New York or the film industry of Los Angeles. Now, certainly, those books and movies, and they're all still worth watching. That's great stuff. And these are people that they put a lot of hard work in, and they do it. I'm going to still say they do it the right way. They polish things up and make sure they have a nice, clean package ready to present to you. You pretty much know whenever you're buying something off a bestsellers list that you're getting quality material. Whenever you just click on a video on YouTube, it could be anything. But I'm glad you stuck with me. And I guess that since you have, I shouldn't linger on too much here. Or maybe you'll decide almost at the end of the first season that you just can't take it anymore. As I mentioned earlier in my stumbling around, this is Chapter 23. It is the fourth day of Erhard, and as usual, it is 2,051 years after the fall. Cold rain beat down like a curse from some frigid realm of Valorn. Dresden would have been fine with snow or even sleet, but rain could cut through any man straight to the bone. The wind made it worse, steady, constant, and eternal. "It's a Keld's lot in life to suffer," Baril announced to the column. "Find what pleasures you can when you can, because most of the time you're going to serve the gods like an anvil serves a blacksmith. When you die, you can rest. Maybe," the barrel-chested human bellowed. It was their 15th day in the mountains, with at least 6 to go. So far, everything had conspired to slow down the caravan. It had rained nearly every day since the wyvern attack. He'd repaired 2 broken wagon wheels himself, and they'd spent 4 full days working around a rock slide. Every woe was amplified by the converts, who seemed utterly unaccustomed to hardship. "Dresden, my lord? Is that Cadiz?" A sickly 15-year-old monk he wrapped in 2 blankets asked. He couldn't remember the boy's name, but the whelp had somehow attached himself to the dwarf. "No, you brainless sheep. That's Troll City, and we're not going in." The caravan was stalled next to a walled settlement the size of a large fortress. Out front, Gain bartered the cost of taking them all over the massive stone bridge. The city's negotiator was a troll, 8 feet tall, brown-green hairless skin, and very well dressed. They'd built the bridge centuries ago, just because they could. Now that Keld civilization was clawing back to life, the monstrous engineers reaped the rewards of controlling the passage. The bridge trolls were smarter and more civilized than their crazed cousins of the south, but every bit as tough. Anyone not willing to pay their toll had a death wish. Why don't we just go around? No matter how badly Dresden treated the child, he just wouldn't go away. Oh, no mind for geography. Grabbing the boy, Dresden drug him to the edge of the massive stone bridge crossing over Folsom's Gorge. That is the Sabre River. It cuts the mountains down the center. If you want to walk around it, you better get moving. I'm sure you wouldn't mind another month of this. Donald was behind him. Easy, Dresden. Pulling the boy back from the edge, he let him fall onto the bridge deck. You okay? The Equirta warden of Renia asked. You seem a little on edge. Over-eager bastard's pissing me off, Donald. The two were moving forward again, trudging through pools of water collecting on the 400-foot span. For somebody who hates converts, you sure spend a lot of time teaching them. You're about the only one who even will talk to them unless it's to order them around. It's no wonder they love you. For his words, Donald received a distinct, go-to-hell stare. Here, you'll like this. What is it? Dresden took the book his friend had handed over. It was a copy, cheaply bound, on ratty paper. It was hard to tell how old it was, but definitely not recent. 10 years was his best guess. Just inside the cover was a page where various readers had left their marks, but the first few were badly smeared. The oldest date he could make out was almost a decade past. A time for treaties. I've heard about this. It's an argument against Urtianism, isn't it? Ah, you're a pain in the ass. You know, it's not like I personally made up the whole philosophy. A lot of divine texts are very explicit. Explicit? Some explicitly siding with Tianists, some explicitly with the Kriegenists. Fine lot of help they are. The argument is just this. By focusing inward, we can prove ourselves the superior culture. Inward? See, that's exactly what I mean. The churches of Madrilla or Lorne, either one, just calls that heresy. Donald wanted to scream, but he was mindful not to draw Bareilles' attention. He thought he had a chance when it came to Dresden, but the aggressive human would never listen. It's not that simple. No one says we can't raid. That's the main argument for several churches, but it's a false flag. It's a false flag? What are you talking about? The Equirta groaned. You need to read more. Maybe something from the churches of Dalius or Balis. A false flag is a term to describe an issue that is irrelevant to the argument, usually planted by someone with a weaker case to draw attention away from the central issues. Not that even the staunchest Tianist is against raiding, just like no Kriegenist is against taking willing converts or harvesting the young from populations before they can be indoctrinated by the heretics. Dresden grumbled. Yeah, well, all the gods teach us how to fight. Each church serves its role in the formation of a greater army. That's not focusing inward. And they all stress development of our own communities through our own efforts, Donald argued. It should tell you something. When the great crafter is among the first of the Kriegenist gods, the duality serves the army and the gods. It is not a tool for conversion. Just read the book. Or don't. I don't care. I thought you might have found it interesting, you stubborn bastard. It documents an argument between priests from the Church of Cloyes and the Church of Renia. You're as interested in the divine word as anybody I've ever seen, or I thought you were. Ah, well, aren't you just the sweetest thing? Dresden condescended. And if you haven't noticed, that Tagara girl a few rows back she's been eyeing you. Thought you should know, since Demi doesn't seem to be coming back. Yeah, well, thanks for reminding me. Dresden's curiosity had him thumbing through the book, but he gave it up in the rain. You know, that wet-furred mess woke me up in the other night, trying to curl up under my blanket. I'm still picking fur off, and I smell like a frickin' alley cat. Was she any good? What? I chased her away. Rolling around with anything that has that much fur is just sick. We'll be out of the mountains soon and to the coast. Then it's just a short sail to Cadiz. With all the activity along the way, I'm sure I can find a pleasant dwarf to spend the winter with. Or maybe even some gnome or an elf. Yeah, I guess. You know, I have noticed a lot of Minotaur look your way. Maybe a Monkey. Dresden glared. You're disgusting. You're a prude. And you guys are all awesome for listening. That's how we close out chapter 23. Dresden and Donald arguing about philosophy, about how to handle sheep, and all the grays and misunderstood arguments of Tianism versus Creaganism. It's not so much that argument that is important within the culture and for individual warriors. It's more about the issues that are involved in the argument about how to treat people, what value the slaves and the converts have that are taken from other societies, even the value of goods that are raided from other tribes, from other peoples. We do mention several deities in the from the pantheon in this chapter. Can't stress enough how important religion is to Dresden and his friends and the Keld people in general. So we're going to let that finish things up. We have one chapter left to finish out the series, plus any bonus material we might come up with. Of course, we also have nuts and bolts and how we got here and the other companion series that will go along with this. The format of YouTube, along with online sources like Twitter, give me a lot of opportunity to tell the complete story and interact with you guys as you explore the world that I've created. So, if you are on Twitter, follow me at Lewis Nichols. We also have the ability for you to download the book. I don't read word for word, although it is pretty close. A few things will change here and here. That's yet another aspect of modern publishing. Authors or writers are very capable of making small or big changes to their works. It's all very interactive, all very real time, and somewhat seamless. We also have all the things you can do right here on YouTube. Join the channel. And for heaven's sakes, if you could take just a second and hit that like button, that would be amazing. Subscribe so you're not missing out on any episodes. And there's that bell thing that you can ring too. Pretty sure it does something important. So there you have it. That's my presentation for the day. Thank you all very much for stopping by. You could have been doing anything, but you chose to spend a few minutes with me. So, as you get back to whatever it is you were doing, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day.